What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails Through Daybreak. Last time we jumped ahead to the early November in the story. It's November 9th now. It's been a few weeks since our fun activities in Basil, and now we are back on the job with Quattro being during his trial period. So we're going around. We got a couple 4 SPGs to do before we see where we're going to be going next, which is obviously going to be Longlie, which is the kind of hot springs resort place that Rain and his family went to in one of the final stories in Reverie. And we saw that the woman, the Divine Blade of Silver, the one, and her, I don't even know what to call him, the ninja guy that fought against Reen first, were both there, so we'll see what happens with them. We also saw an old man on a motorcycle that seems to know a lot. So, let's go ahead and get started on this first 4 SPG, which seems to be this guy over here. Let's talk to Oslo. Hey there, you the one that put the request up? Oh yes, then you must be... I believe your request was about some trouble you've had on the Orbal net. I'm hardly an expert, but... What? But I do have some knowledge on the subject. Would you mind explaining the situation? Yes, well, in short, I fell for a scam on the Orbal net. Oh boy. One of those net scams, huh? Been a lot of those going around. Phishing is the technical term. Bad faith actors disguise themselves as legitimate sources to fool end users. With how quickly the Orbal net is growing, these threats are one step ahead of common knowledge and security measures. So it falls on the users themselves to stay safe on the net, and many just don't have that awareness yet. It's still very a new thing. At any rate, I wanted to get some advice from someone more knowledgeable about these things. Will you accept my request? Yeah. Sure, we'll take care. We'll take it. Care to fill us in? Of course, let's go somewhere we can talk. A back alley. May I ask, have you brought this matter to the police? They may be able to retrieve your stolen assets. Oh no, it's just well, you got your reason, sounds like. No worries. Yes, I asked for your utmost secrecy regarding what I'm about to tell you. Don't you worry, we take our clients' privacy very seriously here at Arkwright Solutions. Well, unless you're a scummy douchebag that's not doing the right thing. Well, you see, now, oh, this is so pathetic, I can't even spit it out. Man, stop beating around the bush. I won't know how to help if I don't know what the problem is. Ugh. But screw it. So I use my work terminal to look up swimsuit models. Like the hot ones. Oh, Goddess Almighty, just kill me. I think I understand where this is going, but please, there's no need to shout. I'm so sorry. I think I get where this is going, though. Carry on. So, a few days later, I got this message from the website. They said they had my browsing history and that I had to pay to keep it private. So I didn't see anything on that site implying I needed to pay, so I just sent the mirror immediately. I couldn't bear having to risk my reputation tarnished. I thought that would be the end of it, but then another few days passed and they messaged me again. They said they want even more mirror this time, or they'd leak my browsing history and all my private information too. I see. That's awful. As a consulate, my reputation is paramount. I need to maintain a clear and professional image. I can't have my browsing history floating around on the net, much less my private info. I'd be done for. And that's why you couldn't bring this to the police of the guild. Yes, my entire career is in jeopardy because of one stupid mistake. I'm pathetic. That's the thing with those scams. You gotta just ignore them. How? So it's like 1 or 2 people doing these usually. And these guys are usually full of shit, but they figure some of their victims don't. They just blast these requests out to anybody they can find, hoping that somebody falls for it. Once they get a bite, they zero in on anybody who replies and ignore everyone else. That's how these things work. Oh, then I can just ignore it going forward? Nah, it ain't that easy now that you took the bait. You already gave them some mirror already, and that let them know you fell for it. They know you're willing to pay to keep that info secret, that you care about your rep. You're exactly the kind of guy they want. Now that they know that, they want to milk you for all you're worth. They're gonna hound you. You cut them off and they might actually leak your shit. Oh no. You're surprisingly knowledgeable about these kinds of scams. Oh, Agnes, stop it. Yeah, I dealt with a case like this before. Right. Anyway, those are my two, Mira. You can keep giving them money or you can ignore them. It's your call. I can't do that, obviously. I suppose I'll just have to give in to their demands. And they're not just gonna stop. You gonna keep sending them more and more money? Ideally, we would just apprehend the criminals here. Can we really do that? I mean, can you really track down a criminal hiding on the Orbal network? Well, it would depend on how well they hide their identity, but it probably wouldn't be impossible. Really? Then please get them for me. Are you okay with that, Van? Go nuts, you're the expert here. If we can track them down, let's go for it. Roger. Alright, may I borrow the terminal they contacted you on? Here it is. I use this terminal for work. Damn, pretty cushy job if they're handing out gadgets like this, but yeah, that was a bit easy. Is something the matter? Think about what you just did for a second. Your mobile terminal is like a collection of all your personal data, and you just handed it to me, a stranger, without a moment's hesitation. You're very lax with your data, and that can get you into trouble, especially since this doubles as your work terminal. Well, that's a good point. Now, obviously, I have no intention of stealing your data, but it helps to be more cautious on the net. It's best to store your personal info separately from your work terminal, along with anything else you don't want people to see. That does make sense, if I may go ahead and do that real quick. I have this note terminal that I also use for work. That should do. There, that should be good. I leave the rest to you. Okay, you still got your history on here. Good. Now, if I just do a reverse search on the sender of the message. Have you found anything? Yup, I can see it all. Let's hear it. It looks like the criminal was using a mobile terminal themselves to contact you. I doubt it's a brand machine, so it's most likely a cheap knockoff. Those operations don't tend to be very sophisticated. And sure enough, they made absolutely no attempt to mask their identity. I can trace them right now. Are you able to find out where they are? I believe so. It might help if I explain how these network signals work. Mobile terminals transmit their own broadcast signals, but being so small, they're limited in their scope and strength. As a result, they have to pass through a server, which amplifies and distributes their information across longer distances. If two terminals are close enough, however, it's more efficient to communicate directly with each other than to use a server as a middleman. I see, so the terminals switch signals based on distance? Yes, there are two different signals terminals will use, and they switch between the two on the fly for convenience. And because I can see this transmission came from a server, I know that the scammer was some distance away. The server gives us a general idea of where the scammer was at the time, but of course there's no guarantee they're still there. That's where we are at this point. So we have a range with no specifics, not enough to sniff the guy out. But you sound like you got something else up your sleeve. I might. Just going off his history, that's as close as I can get it. But of course, we could always just contact the scammer again. And if we get a direct link to the scammer's terminal, we'll know we're close by. So we call him back and figure out where their signal is coming from? Yes. They would just need to be in direct signal range in order for us to pinpoint them. I can see that the previous message came from the Riverside server. So let's head there first. The subway station should do as a starting point. Alright gang, let's go hunt down a fraudster. We'll keep you posted on what we find, okay? We'll use that note terminal you've got there. Once we find the guy, we're gonna want to haul ass over there. Of course, thank you so much.
解決業務開始だね。
Ready then? Yeah, ready whenever you are. Alright, send it now. All we have to do now is wait. What'd you actually write in the message? Made a point of being real vague with them. But I basically said I didn't have all the money and asked if they'd settle for a bit less. So you made it look like you're at least willing to pay. That would compel them to reply at least. Well, it wouldn't be good for our plan if they didn't. Heh, nothing to worry about, it looks like. I got a response on my end too. Looking at the Orbal wave pattern, it's definitely a direct connection. Let me read. The reply is, nope, won't budge on the price, not even a single mirror. Wait, avaricious they are. Okay, analysis complete. Did you locate the transmitter? I got an address. It's west-northwest from our current location. No exact distance, though. No, but we got a line. A whole lot of places along that line is where the source is. If we get to trace another line, but from a different location, then the lines will intersect, pinpointing the exact location of our criminal. Exactly. We should try to aim for as perpendicular a point as we possibly can. Let's send our next transmission from across the river. Well, you heard him. Okay, this looks good. I'll shoot him another message then. Wrote, I got all the money ready. Where should I send this time? And send. Well, aren't you quick? They replied quite quickly both times. They must be quite eager to get the money. Analysis complete. I pinpointed their location. It's southwest from here, under the bridge across the river. Alright then, come on y'all. Let's close the book on this one. Is it really that quick of a job? Like this is all we have to do? Is it that guy? Yeah, it's gotta be this guy. So is our criminal? Most likely yes. Only one way to find out. Just a little more. Oh, did they do it? Let's see. I changed my rhyme. I reported this to the police. They're on to you and should be beating down on your door any second. What? No, calm down. There's no way they can find me. Gonna book it though, just to be safe. Nope. Sorry. Might have worked if we didn't know exactly where you were already. You can thank my assistant here for that. Pretty talented, eh? Your security can't measure up for the one at the Institute of Science, not even close. Wait, who are you? Don't tell me he really did sick the cops on me. We're not police, nor are we bracers. Van here is a spriggan. If you would, please surrender. That was easy. After realizing there was no way to escape, the criminal gave up on resisting. After Oswald arrived, the group began questioning the criminal. You ain't even the big boss there, but some part-timer? That's right. After I sent the boss the full amount, all I got was a tiny paycheck. Even that already ran out. I promise this is my first time doing this. Just because the crime was only committed one time doesn't mean that you're not to blame. Lady's right, kid. That's just a lame excuse. I'm sorry. How much do you know about the organization you were working for? Nothing, I promise. I just got the orders on my phone. So he was just a disposable pawn in this game. Okay, so maybe we're not done yet. Well, our guy here was clearly the one blackmailing you, but he was just the lowest rung on the ladder. Sorry to say, but it doesn't look like you'll be getting your money back. It's alright, I've already given up on that. My biggest concern was what comes after. Yeah, that's the ticket. We got the blackmailer himself, but the blackmail material is probably still in the hands of whoever hired this kid. We didn't get to the root of the problem, so we can't guarantee they aren't gonna keep coming back for you. But this move ain't gonna get us to the big boss either. Not sure there's much more we can do at this point. Oh no, what should I do then? Well, yeah. I'm not really sure. What do you mean make it so it never happened? I'm not really sure what that means in this scenario. Sure, I'm just curious. Can't always pretend none of it ever happened. How can we do that? You never looked at any weird sites and never had any problem. We can make that the case. Can you really do that? Well, it's up to my assistant here. How about it? Think you can manage? I'm not too happy about it, but if the only people this will affect are criminals, I suppose I can let it slide. I'll need Reset's assistance, of course, but it should be doable. You know I can count on you. Please, that would be great. Very well then, shall we? Of course, thank you for the help. By making use of Marduk's servers, Quattro and Reset together erase Oslo's former account. After thoroughly erasing all traces of it, the two then issued Oslo a new account using a backup to preserve the account data. That's just all matters. We can't just erase the data the criminals have on your actions, of course. But by doing this, they shouldn't be able to link it back to you anymore. Fortunately, the only person you made explicit contact with was this blackmailer. Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, better be grateful. They did a superb job here. Now, as for you, Eek, seems like this really is your first time, so we're gonna sweep your little fun bit of blackmailing under the rug. Assuming you quit your job, that is. Let me say, kid, that you better jump ship now if you're not willing to commit to the criminal lifestyle. If you keep laying with criminals, you'll eventually reach a point where there's no going back. Either pull out now, or get pulled right in. You looking to lose yourself forever in the pitch-black depths of the underworld? I'll quit. I don't want any more part of this. You sure you're not just saying that to get out of this bind? I really mean it. I don't know about the people above me at all. I got recommended in by some guy. He's kind of a recruiter of sorts. Name's Clement. But that's all I know. Please believe me. Fine, but I ain't forgetting you. If I catch you back on your old haunts, you'll get what's coming to you. Got it? Got it. Clement. I should keep that name in mind. So this might be like it. Some jobs are like a two-parter. So it's like you start at this point of the story, and then we had it in previous games as well, where it's like you do something first and then it comes back around a second time. Well, that solves this case. It wasn't exactly the most satisfying solution, I'll say. You get that a lot when you're working as a Spriggan. This country's dark side is deep-rooted. It's too deep for anyone. Ain't no way one person or group can just clear it all away. Not the Brazers in hell, not even the government. The Spriggan's job is to take care of those that fall through the cracks. We ain't after fairy tale endings, can't afford to chase those. Just gotta go for the best ones we can get without compromising our values. There you go. Okay, I think I understand, at least a little. It's dawned on me what the purpose of a Spriggan's job is and why you do it, Van. Quater. That's good. If you figured out that much at least, I'd call your training a success. Oh well, at the end of the day, I need to eat, and that's the real reason I'm working at all. And you had to dash the nice conclusion with a sprinkle of cynicism right at the end. Still, I suppose that's the most Spriggan-like way to tie a ribbon on it. Goodness. Well, yeah. Realistically, if, let's say, I guess I should have done the law, but, nah. Oh shoot, one sec. Now you're good. What's up, Bramati? It's the man from earlier. Sure, might take us a bit before we can tackle it, but you're free to run your request by us now if you want. Actually, this request comes from a regular of mine. He's in a spot of trouble, you see. He hoped to discuss it with you personally. Would you be a dear and make the time to meet up with him? You want me to what now? Come on, man. I'm on a tight schedule here. But, what the hell. I do owe you one for your help in Tharbad, so I can at least hear him out. I'll swing by your place in a sec. That may pose a problem. This is a matter that requires discretion. My establishment is the subject of prying eyes of the public. They've already picked a more secluded venue, as so happens. Could I trouble you to drive there instead? They'll give you a call once you're on the road. In the meantime, let me send you the meeting location. Oh, this is... Good luck, my love. Hugs and kisses. That man is, certainly a character, isn't he? He is, indeed, and highly capable as well. He's just as adept at handling information as he is with cocktails. Heh, won't argue with you there. So, where are we headed now? We're gonna drive along the capital's third belt expressway. They chose an interesting spot to meet up. I'm pretty curious to see where our mystery client is. They've certainly gone to great lengths to conceal where they are and what they're doing. Well, anyway, I believe my training is nearly at an end. As soon as we're ready, let's make our way back to the office and pick up the car. Sounds good to me. Wait, who made you the boss? Ugh, kids these days. Perhaps we should stop at Resupply on the way to the office, then we can head off. Well, we should probably get the other two up to speed when we get back. I remember who we're gonna be, helping out here. It took a bit of the conversation for me to remember, but first things first, we gotta handle this, monster request, which I believe... I assume it's gonna be down here. Yep. Alright. A fearsome foe is prowling around. Oh, you're weaker than the last couple bosses we fought. It is one heck of a kick. And we're done. Oh yeah, Reset fell a bit behind. There we go. Mayor Law. Oh yeah, we get that extra free point. Let's go ahead and use that real quick. Yeah, we'll do the Quattro one. Doing some shopping with the kid. Your purchase fit perfectly within your budget. Perfect. Man, having an expert on board really comes in handy when you're out shopping. Thanks, man. We got some nice deals on high-quality equipment there. Don't mention it. As long as I'm working out of your office, the stability of its Orbal network access is really important to me. I was happy to help. If anything, I was surprised by how accommodating you were to everything I asked for. Well, Reset's the software specialist, you're the hardware specialist. I obviously don't have a bottomless pocket, so I can't accommodate for everything, but I trust your judgment on this. What's up? It's just, you're much different than would be expected from someone running a shady business like yours. You barely know me, taking into account, I wouldn't expect you to extend such freedom and trust to me. Hey, you're the expert here, I'm not gonna butt in when I'm aware you know better than I do. Arkride Solutions keeps growing and growing. Y'all have your unique skills and I'm not about to go wasting them. So why not take advantage of my employees' knowledge then? I'm inclined to agree when you put it that way. Okay then, let's haul this stuff back to the office. Trust you can handle the installation? Of course. Orbal anomaly detected in the vicinity. Huh? Wonder if something happened. The big screen's gone off. I wonder if it's lost power? No, there's some digital noise still present, so it can't be that. It must be a hardware failure. I'm gonna go speak to a person in charge. Understood. Hold up. Quattro went to speak to the store's owner, who was just as perplexed, and agreed to let him handle repairing the screen. Theo, I need a full scan of the building structure and wiring. Zeros, I need you to sniff out any signs of Orbal leaks and burn-in. Understood. Commencing scan. What are those things? You really couldn't stop yourself from butting in on this one, could you? Excuse me, butting in? This is about someone who clearly needs assistance, someone I can help. Grant's always said the ultimate goal of technology and science should be for helping people. So if I have the ability to be of assistance, I'll do everything in my power to help them. Yes, no one's gonna fault Professor Hamilton for dreaming big. But you gotta cool it. You ain't one of the 3 disciples. Those are some big, big shoes you're not gonna be able to fill. There ain't enough hours in the day to solve every problem you come across. So that's one of your principles as a Spriggan, is it? Not a principle, call it life experience. Analysis complete, Quattro. Sending data. Thanks, you two. If you're so pressed for time, Van, then you're more than free to leave. I can handle the rest myself. Teenagers. Quattro, Fiora, and Zero set about investigating the cause of the malfunction. They searched top to bottom, floor, wall to wall, and the supposed faulty wiring. Well, I'm at a loss. This is more difficult than I anticipated. I was certain this was a case of cable thermal degradation. Was I wrong? Is the cause something else? You're overthinking this, bud. If you don't intend to offer any actionable solutions, then kindly shut it. Damn, aren't we snippy? Fine, I'll help. Theo scanners are shard-based, yeah? Tell them to do an ultrasound and infrared scan of the area. What? Why? Just give it a try. If I'm right, problem solved. If I'm wrong, you get to launch a snark attack. It's a win-win. The source of the problem has been identified. Are you for real? Shard search function coming in clutch. Tech's still in its infancy, though. There have been a few cases where it couldn't detect a degraded circuit. That came up during one of Marduk's tests a while back. But it looks like luck's on our side today. You got any replacement parts for him? Theo? Commencing search for compatible components. The screen was successfully repaired. The station screen was restored to its usual lively form. We literally can't catch a break. Finally got some free time. And then work gobbles it up. My prior assessment was on point, it seems. You really are a strange person. 1 second you're hackling from the sidelines, then you're giving me a hand. Any boss worth their salt helps their employees when they're in a bind. What I did wasn't out of the ordinary. Plus, we gotta set up the stuff we bought, so the sooner I can get you back, the better. Come on, let's go. We don't got all day. Still have much to learn. There's more knowledge to be gained under his tutelage than I expected. I need to make the most of this opportunity. I want to have grown leaps and bounds by the time I see Gran again. Well, there you have it. What? Why is my controller low on battery? That's weird. Alright, well, I'm definitely gonna switch controllers right here. Alright, I'm gonna assume something's unplugged because my charge, not that it matters for this playthrough. Something's not charging my controllers. Anyways, we're done with that, so we can go ahead and head out of here. And we can get started with this, this expressway thing. Actually, now that I think about it, hold on. I guess it wouldn't hurt to check the shop, see who's selling what. Are we allowed to go to the... Oh, we can go to the black... That's where I want to go first, actually. Quattro hasn't been here yet. Where's the... I think it's this guy. Alright, I guess there's not much else that we may have missed. Sounds like a fun drive, but once we head out, we're not going to be back for a good long while. Is there anything else we got to do before we call it? Hop in, kiddos. This is so exciting. Feels like we're in a spy movie we saw last month. You really liked that one, didn't you? I'd make fun of you for being a kid about it, but this whole thing's got my interest too. Just how do they plan to establish contact with us? My thoughts exactly. I assume it will involve the in-vehicle Ziffa. There they are. Wait, ain't that Maxim Lugan? I feel like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, it's a smug-ass racer from a while back. Maxim Lugan, the top Z1 race car driver? Yeah, that guy always seems to be shooting himself in the foot. Very. We're Arkwright Solutions. You're the guy Bermati wanted us to meet?
Maxim Lugan だ。久しぶりだね。裏解決屋の諸君。4SPG だったか。ベルモッティさんの紹介で改めて君たちに依頼を頼みたい。オフレコで話を聞いてもらえないかな。
Off the record, it's not like we report to the police or anything. Although, we're not your biggest fan. I mean, our first meeting with him, he was trying to pick up Agnes. Whoa. Oh, it's just a dog. Wait, is it? It's a form of cutting-edge technology called an Orbal drone. No need to be afraid. He won't bite. If you say so. Monmart, is this a bistro? It looks so cozy. It is. The food served here is wonderful, too. We're lucky enough to get to eat here all the time. It's no secret that holes in the wall like this tend to taste surprisingly good. I should blend in a lot better than the luxury restaurants I usually frequent.
うわーって誰もいない？にひひ引っかかった。なんだ子供か。じゃなくて何するんだ君は。
She's the granddaughter of the bistro's owner. Go easy on him, Humes. He's technically a client.
ラジャー。でもおじさん変な顔。
失礼な子供だな。僕だってこんなサングラスつけたくてつけてるわけじゃ。
Don't let it get to you. You're the one who landed yourself in this situation, so you kind of did have a choice. Perhaps we should make our way up to the office before we draw a crowd. Ugh. Yeah, we'll hear your story up there. I want you to help me find someone. And right to the point, huh? Tell us more. A woman, to be more specific. As you know, I'm single at the moment. However, there was one woman in the past I was very close to. We did break up after a while, but I later heard she gave birth to our child. Oh, wow. Heh, Buzz Raider wasn't kidding about you being a piece of shit, huh? They do say our heroes are often corrupt. I see there is some truth to that. You're getting it all wrong. Are we? I'm not so sure we are. At least let me explain how it all happened, please. Alright, here we go. It all began 8 years ago, back when I was 23. So he's 31. Z1 had just started to become a big thing, and I was a rookie racer who was struggling to make it in the big leagues. One day, I was in a major accident during one of my races and was badly injured. I was rushed to the hospital, and it was there we first met. She devoted her whole being to helping me recover, and thanks to her tireless care and physical therapy, I did. It was a downright miracle. When the time came for me to be discharged from the hospital, I summoned the courage to tell her how I felt, and the two of us started dating. Okay? She was both a strong-willed and kind woman, and before I knew it, I was head over heels in love with her. After I'd begged her enough time, she agreed to live with me too. It was a little after that I finally returned to racing. Thinking back, those were the happiest days of my life. Due in no small part to the support I got from her, I ended up winning my first post-recovery championship. Then I won the following championship, then the one after that, but before I knew it, people were treating me like some kind of hero. Oh boy. Everyone wanted my attention. I was out partying one night after another. And I'm not proud of it, but I had more than a few one-night stands with other women around that time too. Then one day she suddenly disappeared from my life, leaving only a single note behind. I was filled with regret for my actions, but I didn't know what to say to her, so I just wallowed in self-loathing and let her go. But 2 years later, I went to visit that same hospital where we first met for a regular checkup, and learned by pure chance that when she'd left me, she learned she was pregnant and also left her job. I was so shocked that I tried to get a coworker that she was close with to get a way to contact her. But she wouldn't give me a drop of information, no matter what I said. I pestered her enough that she told me she'd call the guild if I didn't stay away from her. I think I'd do the same in her position too, honestly. You really are the worst. Ugh. Well, I certainly see why you can't ask the police for help with this. She chose to remove you from her life. Trying to chase her down now would likely just be seen as stalking. Yeah, if you went to the guild with this, you'd be in for a bad time. So that's why when this latest news hit, you decided to come see us. That's right. You might not believe me, but I've changed a lot since then. I do still go out partying, but I've always kept myself in check. I swear that on Eidos' name. I've actually been using a lot of my free time over the past few years traveling around in hopes of finding her and our child. Make that 4 years, in fact. Wow. That is quite a lot of time. Still, even if you aren't actually dating Lancer, it sure sounds like you were happy to get to know her a bit better, if you catch my drift. Women. She just asked me out for a meal and I accepted. Really, there wasn't anything more to it than that. We never interacted much before that, so I didn't have a clue why she invited me, and I certainly had no intentions of crossing any lines with her. Besides, what man in my position wouldn't be at least tempted if such a beautiful woman made a move on him? And here comes the excuses. I bet Mira that this ex of yours saw that Buzz Raider story. She starts shaking her head. Ugh.
ああ、もう終わってるかもしれないけど、一縷の望みすら絶たれてしまうだろう。だから頼む。どうか力になってくれないか。
Well, nothing we've heard so far tells me you didn't bring this on yourself. Not a bit of it. But I think it still qualifies as a 4 SPG based on Van's guidelines. Indeed, it's a request that can't be taken to the guild or police while still being within reason. Van? So, what's her name? Do you have any photos of her? Sorry, but I can't tell you her name just yet. I know you've saved me before, but I'm still not fully sure I can trust you. I don't want to cause any more trouble for her or our child more than I already have. Oh? Not sure you should be making demands when you've got nowhere else to go. Perhaps, though I do understand his intent. You can never be too careful. What are we going to be used to find them then? Well, at least want a photograph that would give us some options in searching. Unfortunately, I don't have any. That's part of the reason why I've been reduced to wandering around searching for them myself. But it only occurred to me recently there is one picture I took with her still in existence. I just don't have it. Before we moved in together, we went to Dirk Memorial Park on a date. While we were there, we participated in a special event in the area of that park that's been closed off due to monsters. The picture's in a time capsule we buried in front of the memorial tree there. I want you to come and help me dig it up. Alright, well, here we go. This really does look like a nice little bistro. The stew and Hamburg steaks are my favorites. The food they serve with alcohol ain't bad either. They know what pairs perfect with Baiju. Figured you'd go right for the hard drinks. You're making me want to stop by once we're done at the park. No, I can't. I just attract attention and cause them trouble. You're worrying yourself over nothing if you ask me. They also do takeout if that's more to your liking. We can vouch for those too. The sandwiches are always first rate.
あれバンたちお仕事忙しいのかな。
バンさんたちまたお出かけ。
金髪の変なおじさんと一緒に行っちゃったよ。
何それ。まあいいわ、行きましょう夢。
ママとお買い物。
Okay, bye. I'll tell you her name once we get the photo. Sorry, but that's the best way for me to make sure you guys are good in my book. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. The street might just go both ways. Huh? If we get our hands on that photo, we might be able to use the net to really narrow things down. I'm sure Reset would know specifics more than me. Right, we should be able to search for the woman in question using city data and license information. There are a plethora of legal avenues we can take to identify her if we look hard enough. Really, now how the times have changed. Just so you know, we're not going to cross any lines that aren't meant to be crossed. And even if we do locate her, there's a chance we might not tell you. What? Why not? Well, this is just an example, but it's possible she may have gotten married. In that situation, telling you her contact info might be, it'll come down to their situation and my judgment, and regardless of how things go, I'll be collecting payment. That's ridiculous. No, I suppose that makes perfect sense. I see, so she might have gotten married. What, you really thought she'd still be single? If she's as wonderful as you say, I'm sure she must have a lot of admirers. Ugh, yeah, you're right. If anything, it'd make more sense for her to be married. Don't tell me I'm too late. We're just talking possibilities. Well, if that turns out to be the case, then I swear I'll give up then and there. And I will, of course, pay for your services, so please help me. Alright, then let's put together a plan. We need a plan. The plan is we go to the location in the park, and then we pick up the time capsule and see who it is. Although the story has given us enough hints to assume who it might be. But I'll wait for him to say it. Well, if it isn't Arkwright Solutions, at it again, back on official business today? What can I say? Another day, another mirror. Basically, we need to get into the sealed off part of the park and to sort something out for our client. Think you can help us out? You must mean the forest. No matter how often we clear it of monsters, they always have a way of reappearing. The closure was only ever intended to be temporary, but it's stayed like that for 5 years now. Regardless, I'm sure you guys will be fine. Go ahead and take this. Memorial Park Forest Key. Much obliged. We'll make sure to give it back on the way out. I don't believe you, Van. Very smooth, ignoring the official part of that ranger's question. This doesn't feel entirely ethical to me. Huh? I don't get it. What's the big deal? You're as underhanded as ever. Oh well, at least now we can get in and retrieve that photo. Sure, if there's anything left of it to still be found, that is. The sealed off forest in question seems to be to the left. We should make our way over. Maxim is now accompanying your party. Dirk Memorial Park, forest area. Well, this path is so pretty. The autumn leaves look beautiful. The cosmos seem to be at their peak too. Yes, it almost feels like a waste to keep it sealed off. Spider. Monsters, but there weren't any here 7 years ago. We're gonna have more than just those little ones to deal with too. What? Large enemy presence detected. Well, that doesn't sound good. That must be where the monster that rules this area is. Van? I was thinking the same thing. This might be our perfect chance. If we must, we at least need to make sure we're ready first. What will you do, Mr. Lugan? I suspect it'll be safer for you to wait here at the entrance. I could never do that. This memory means the world to me. I just can't leave it to you to recover it. I'm confident my reflexes and agility, if nothing else, so please let me come with you. Works for me. I think it'll be fine. Just keep a hold of this for me, will ya? The shovel for digging up capsules? Okay, sure. Use it if you gotta defend yourself, but don't be reckless. Stay behind us. It's just a precaution, though. Leave the monsters to us. Alright, so I think we'll end things off here. So next time we'll go ahead and make our way to the time capsule that Maxim is looking for. And then once we're done with that, I guess we will call it a day. I assume anyway, once we find out who this mystery woman is that Maxim is looking for. So, that's gonna be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.